What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. There's plenty of buyouts, some for obvious reasons, some for not so obvious reasons, and we're gonna break it down for you. But first, we're having a sellout stream later today, 7 o'clock Central. Set your clocks, and as a stream goal, you'll either be able to unlock this Yugi 20th anniversary figure, something you don't see every day here in the States, versus this Clayman sealed figure. Yeah, the box has seen better days, but it is indeed sealed. Ooh, look at that mysterious cyber dragon on the back that people have been trying to hunt down. But seriously, one of these two will probably be unlocked on the stream later today as a giveaway, so be sure to join the sellout stream. But here into the Market Watch, there was somebody asking in Zodiac Duelist about the Mize King of Armageddon and why it's sold out, and the answer is very simple. There hasn't been a printing of this card since 2007. And of course, there's legacy support for this. Some people actually want to run it. He was questioning it, and then he's like, well, I guess I'm playing 3 in my deck that I want to make. So the obvious thing happened. A lot of people got the core super cheap out of the new set, and they go and look for this card and consider it for playing. Play test on Dueling Book, decide if you really do want it in your deck first off, and then decide. It's had several volleys of buyouts throughout the past months as the set was announced, the set was released, and you really just want to spend your money wisely and decide, do I really need this? On eBay, it's even more. We actually see an SOI copy, unlimited, at $18 by bids. Wow. That's actually just insane to me. So, Demise, again, its reasoning very, very relatively simple. We haven't seen a copy of this since 2007 released, and that was the DR4 variant of it. Now, this card back in the day, it was king of his format. He actually did take down a Shonen Jump, and I gotta give it credit. I still play this in deck building challenges from time to time without the new Demise stuff, and it kicks butt at times. It's single rated. It's actually the silliest thing. We're still summoning Doomdozer Demise in 2K18. Now, the not-so-obvious buyout of Crusadia Equimax. The Crusadia archetype overall is cheap. Here is our rarity cap at ultra rare with an amazing card. I actually heavily underestimated this card, but I faced it with kind of a bad matchup in a sense. I faced it with Mech Knight Invoked, where he's able to actually tribute off his other Crusadia monster that it points to, and leave this as the only thing to really set up against. When I forced him to go first, I was like, I'm forcing him to go first, he won't be able to do anything, but I'm playing Mech Knight Invoked, so basically, you can tribute one Crusadia or World Legacy monster this card points to, then target a face-up card your opponent controls, as its effects negated till the end of this turn. Also, it gains attack to all monsters it points to, and monsters it points to can't attack. So if I set up a Mech Knight across from it, or any fusion across from it, that fusion monster or Mech Knight cannot attack, and then it's just going to give it its boost. It's actually really insane how that matchup kind of just works. So it quote-unquote seems down in price, Gen, even though it's way up. I believe Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles had this for $3 or under on its pre-sales, and Troll and Toad, I think, had it near $7. We see on eBay, it's actually near matching. We see From Australia at about $7. We see a deck base without it. I really don't get who keeps cropping these and doing that. And then $9 if you want it from the States. It reminds me of Code of the Duelist even more now, where we had originally the set's value started to bottom out early, and then World Chalice spiked right out the gate about the same time because the set's top value was going out. I always love when a set is top heavy like that. Yes, it makes those cards very hard to get, but it makes everything else easy at the start to get. And then as the top value bottoms out, sometimes, not all the time, because sometimes that top value just stays there looking at you infinite impermanence, you get things like this later that start going up over time, and I think this was underestimated. I personally underestimated it, and it was one of the archetypes I was looking forward to, the Palladions, however you say that. Now we just say Crusadia, and yeah, maybe it was just the matchup, but this deck does have some really wonky and fun OTKs, and it's a pretty cool deck that has negates and has a bit of better board presence than I gave it credit for. Maybe you guys should test against it, just in case you run into it at your regionals or YCSs. Galaxy Soldier is also up there just a little bit from where it once was. Why? Well, there's all that Cyber Dragon stuff being released, and this is still one of the harder copies to get. And now we see it actually starting to rise towards its original hype price. Once it originally, way back when it was only in World Superstars, started getting a little bit of Infinity hype, it was around $12. And then it spiked to $20. Will we see that with the Battles of Legend Light's Revenge variant out and available now? Well, the quantities are completely disappearing. It really comes down to who's going to sell them and who wants them. The demand seems to actually be there, and we go over to eBay, we change it to buy it now. There's only 27, and it also starts at 12, around that same price I mentioned. So will it trickle back down, or will it actually just undeservedly, in a sense, keep that price? Because Cyber Dragons, I think, are rogue at best, but they are one of the most hyped decks in terms of it has so many fans and so many people that truly love it that it's dragging it up this way. I don't know where it's going to land. It could just stay stable, and that's my hope actually for it. I think this is a decent price for Galaxy Soldier, and it was under-evaluated in a sense, and we do have that extra little bit of future support coming out. So it's not like it's Cyber Dragons alone, perhaps, but let's face it, you're not really going for Infinity in this day and age unless you've like set up an insane board and found the way to bring it back. Looking at you, Soul Charge. Dark Grepher Secret Rares. Where's the first Ed land? Up, not on the first page. The Unlibs start off at $17.47 on the second page for Near Mint. And on the third page, we finally see it at $50 and then $60. Dark Grepher has a lot of really cool combos in Danger, basically using Jackalope or Nessie in order to go ahead and make Tomahawk, Galaxy Tomahawk, and pop off. Now, there's other ways to pop off in Danger, and we'll get into that in a second, but $55, lowest eBay, only one copy. They're relatively disappearing. PTDN, one of the best sets of all time. It has the collectability. It has the future, perhaps, playability in Danger. We'll see how it continues, but this feels like the least amount of brick for its buck versus Dark Worlds versus Fabled. And I'm personally, like, testing out the Sky Striker kind of build that Billy was talking about, where you play Phantom Sky Blaster, you play Hornet, and then you could actually special Grepher and go into that later, too. It's very easy. That's a 4-card combo because of discard, but basically Sky Blaster, Hornet, and then like being able to Grepher later. You have Allure. It's you know, consistent. I guess that's 5-card. You still need the Nessie or Jack. Okay, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I'm just saying there's busted hands. But Hornet, Sky Blaster, basically you make Kagura, you get the other token, you summon Sky Blaster, you have 6 monsters access there, and every other version is up besides the common for a good chunk. I would go ahead, and if you don't have a playset of the common, get them sooner than later, because those holo variants are still up there, and OTS 6 quantities, they're only going to be here for so long. We see cards like Anti-Spell, you know, that just sell out later, and you wish you bought them then. This is one of those cards I feel like, and it's actually over double the price here on eBay at $3. So, sooner than later, boys. Sooner than laters. Or, rail cars, if you identify that way. And, Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles is having a sale, and I actually don't have the promo code up for you guys right now to tell you right away, but they're tidying up their basically website, and everything in this extra zone is going to be 30% off with code STREAMLINE. I'll put that down below in the description. STREAMLINE, just like it sounds, STREAMLINE. They're trying to streamline their site and get rid of old stuff, but I have a warning that goes with this. And I'm really glad that Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles lets me talk about everything. But I actually got a few Gold Sarks myself before they sold out. Seeing as Thunder Dragons were ahead, with the 30% off, that's like 32 cents a piece. I could not resist. That's the first card I've actually, like, bought in order to trade later since, I think, the Dark Illusions. It's been a long time since I saw a good deal just so good that I had to take it myself and couldn't resist. But we also see Duelist Saga here, and this is what I want to warn of. There were Mizukis last night, and I resisted Mizukis because there's a huge problem when we actually look at the curvature of Duelist Saga from Europrint. It's that old problem that should be in the back of your head. This is pack fresh from Duelist Saga. The picture's thanks to Alinthe-O, who lives over there. Pack fresh Europrint from Duelist Saga. You do want to be careful, and if you don't remember, also Fusion Enforcers has that similar problem. This should also be pack pack fresh from German, but also Europrint foiling. So remember, it started in Macker where it got fixed. Maximum Crisis, the foiling problem got fixed over there. And yeah, you can try to unbend it, but like it rebends really bad, even in tournament. I had like perfect barrages, and I got pulled behind the curtain and told you can't play this copy at, I believe it was YCS Atlanta. So even if you do fix it, during tournament, these cards just rebend, and you're not going to be able to unbend them in tournament every single round. Like, you do want to be careful. So I want to give a forewarning about the Mizukis coming out here, because there were Mizukis listed, and now there's no Mizukis. Be careful buying cards like that in the future from Duelist Saga specifically, and also I would personally, even though there's some good deals, probably avoid anything that's not in the extra deck from this, just so your main deck doesn't get marked cards. I'm gonna get common so you can just unbend it, but realistically, with the old Europrint sets, tons of competitors got disqualified. If you'll remember, going out to California to get disqualified, that was a real bad event for a lot of my friends and people, and it was because of cards like this. But after Macker, it got fixed. You just want to be aware and keep your cards in good condition. But there, like I said, there are deals to be had. Coming out of the structure deck, there's actually another deal, like Glow Up Bulb. There's small things to add to your cart, basically, while this promo code lasts. Like Gold Sarks, when I looked around, you know, a lot of them are really relatively well priced. I think the cheapest are the versions from the structure deck, though, where we actually see some, yeah, we see, oh, it went to Glow Up Bulb for some reason. That's the next card. But yeah, you see one listed at 58 cents before. It's $1.70, so you'd have to buy something else from Mad Theory. $1.18 here out of Yugi's World, which should actually be relatively harder to get out of a Legendary collection. And there's a ton of commons, so it's not like it's going to go crazy. But at 30 cents, I'm going to get my play sets, you know. And then it sold out. We have Glow Up Bulb here at 72 cents before 90 cents. Wow. So, you know, coming in at a hot, also like under 30 cent price, probably at 30% off. Is my math right there? It's pretty good to go ahead and maybe get yours for plant format, etc. Now, keep in mind, you do have to spend $75 to get free shipping to the US, so maybe hook up with your team on stuff that you want to get with them throughout these sets, and then maybe find some stuff in the main sets to go ahead and grab too to get your cart there. Again, 30% off, pretty good sale, but it's a very limited in terms of the sets and ones you might want to pick up, like I said. So thanks for watching. What did you think of today's Market Watch? Do you see similarities like I do to Cybernetic Horizon with Code of the Duelist? It seems somewhat underwhelming now, but I think it has room to grow, and now we're even seeing a similar buyout comparable to World Chalice as the top-heavy cards bottom out. It just really reminds me of it a lot. What do you think of the things like the Demise buyout and Galaxy Soldier that might not be meta impacting, but really shows that the casuals have their imprint and mark on the market, not just those dirty vendors? It's a natural occurrence, I think, for these kinds of cards to actually, for their second waves, for this to have happened at all. So I always find that interesting. And do you like the combo with Sky Blaster and Hornet? What do you think of that, being able to fill your whole board like that? Basically turn one scapegoating, in a sense, with 2 cards instead of 1, but you get 2 extra bodies out of it as well. Let me know what you think about all of these cards and suggestions, and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the discussion, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.